Friends and colleagues, what are you passionate about? Passionate.
The Passion Show on CFRU 93.3 FM Guelph, Ontario. With Wizard.
I'm a water wizard, Harry.
With
Hello world, you are listening to The Passion Show with Wizard on CFRU 93.3 FM. It's a do-it-together radio show all about passions and the people who have them. My name is Wizard.
And I'm Zimmer.
Zimmer, 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 woo!
Thank you, I appreciate
The
that.
crowd goes crazy. Zimmer, how's it going?
It's going well. I've just had a beautiful day with one of my best buddies in the whole world.
Who's that?
His name is
Tweedledee.
King of Celtic.
Tweet, tweet. Oh my
He
gosh.
also goes by the name Wizard.
I'm going to have to beep that first
All
part.
right.
That's okay. It's right at the start, so it's easy.
His name is Wizard, and
It's going to be like Tweedledee, King of Celtic. Tweet, tweet, tweet.
and we've just had a beautiful day rock climbing and going to dinner in Guelph and just generally chatting. And
Holding
catching up.
hands.
Holding hands. and
Looking into each
smooching.
other's eyes.
Very romantic day, I would say, on the scale of days.
On a scale of days, I qualify it as romantic as well. It was a beautiful one, and so relatively surprising. You know, like we knew you were going to be in Ontario, but I did not wake up expecting a full and beautiful day with my dear, 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 close soulmate Zimmer.
I'll be honest, I had an inkling that it would end this way. I think I could have given you a heads up, but I was like, you know what? There's something beautiful about being like, hey, my friend Wizard, I'm in your neck of the woods.
Let's hang out right now.
Let's hang out right now.
It was beautiful, and it resulted in a day that was very relaxed and true, which is what I'm looking for these days. Truth.
Yeah, as am I.
And now, speaking of truth, you're here on my radio show, and we're going to discuss what we often discuss, you and I, passion. Because you and I are born conversationalists. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a little shy right now, but I'll do my best to keep up.
It's okay. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I've had plenty of shy guests on here. We'll crack you open. You'll be yapping like you always do before you know it. We'll have you singing.
Sorry, listener, I'm very shy.
No, it's okay. Well, you know what'll make you less shy? We're gonna move that microphone a little closer to your face. Ready?
All right, let's pump it up.
Yeah, there you go. Just drag it. Yeah, there you go.
Like that?
Just like that. I think that's
All right,
gonna be good.
Let's cook.
Now they can hear you. You know what? I'm sensing your shyness. It's interesting. You normally don't see this angle on you.
No, I'm usually a loud, brash,
The people know
kind of a reverent person.
the
but
people.
right now, in this moment, I got stage fright.
No, you're moving now. You've been anecdotized on this show multiple times. An eagle-eared listener will know who you are merely just by the mention of your name, Zimmer. I tell your anecdotes.
That's fascinating. That's kind of terrifying, actually. I think that I am, more than anything else in this world, afraid of being known and remembered. And I think
See, there we go. Now we're getting into some classic Zimmer territory.
And that, just the idea that some beautiful listener, whoever you are listening to the show,
the dear
way,
listeners, as we call them.
I love you. If you're listening to this radio show, if you're listening to CFRU, is it 93.3?
That's the very number.
That one, I want you to know that the contours of your soul are beautiful to me. But the idea of being known by you is equally terrifying, I think.
You've always been very conscious of your ghost.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure where that comes from, but I think that...
I know. I think I have an idea.
What's your idea? Tell us.
It comes from Camp Celtic, of course.
I guess it does come from Camp Celtic.
But I mean, who knows where like the seed of it comes from? But I think you really interacted with the idea of legacy a lot at camp.
Yeah, that's true. As keen listeners of this show will know, my good friend Wizard and I worked for many a year.
Oh yes.
At Celtic Sports and Arts Camp. Shout out Celtic.
Meltic snorts and farts cramp.
I love that place.
It's a good
on
place.
the Bruce Peninsula. together, and I would say it's the foundation of our friendship, but our friendship has definitely blossomed
of course.
and grown as it does. It was the seed.
Yeah, the seed is a good metaphor, I think.
And now our friendship has blossomed into the beautiful flower that it is.
What a beautiful flower.
But maybe it is. I think that it's hard to meet people's expectations when they have a preconceived notion of who you're going to be and what you're going to do. So as someone who feels like they occupy a bunch of different modes, like the idea of being Zimmer in my head is being like 12 different people. I feel like I walk in the room as one of those 12. And if they're expecting goofy, crazy, zany Zimmer, it's kind of a letdown. And if they're expecting, brilliant, smart, on the dial, witty Zimmer, I don't deliver. And if they're expecting sensitive Zimmer, I'm almost always an asshole. So, it's... Am I allowed to say that on this show?
Yeah,
I can say that word?
There's one word that you can't say, and it's an F word. It's
Okay.
a scary, scary F word.
Okay, I won't touch that word.
But you can say other words.
Good.
You can say, like, darn and frick.
But I remember very distinctly when I was working as a counselor and I had kids get off the bus. They're very excited to come to our summer camp.
There they are, fresh off the kunkel.
Yeah, fresh off the beautiful yellow kunkel school bus. And they're excited to have their end of grade 8 and I guess end of elementary school trip.
A formative time in their life.
A formative time in their lives, a celebration at our summer camp, which is like something I think I take very humbly and I take great pride in that we kind of like fill that role for them. But they came off the bus and they said, "Where's Zimmer?" And I absolutely almost pooped my pants in that moment because there was nothing I could do to measure up to the joy and the expectation of a child who has been gaslit by the year above for about how great this place is and how funny it is. But yeah, I think that's probably where it comes from. There's a lot of kind of weird moments where someone will tell me an anecdote about something that I've done. And even if I kind of vaguely remember what's happened, I'm still shocked by that. I'm still kind of like, I can't believe I did that great and or crazy and or nutty thing.
And or horrible.
I kind of blacked. And or horrible. Most importantly, horrible. Actually, that's a lie. I think I remember horrible Zimmer. I don't think I remember cool, exciting Zimmer. So,
well, you know what? It's okay. You remember horrible Zimmer, and the rest of the world will remember amazing Zimmer.
Yeah.
Like there are more memories of that than there are of terrible Zimmer. I'll tell you that for free.
That's true.
But hey, like who among us is without sin, right?
That's true. That's true.
It's certainly a funny thing having so much identity tied up in that place.
Yeah. I think it even happens outside of it. Like here's a good example. So,
lay it on me.
I went to law school. I went to Osgood for a year before transferring to another law school. And during that kind of formative time, I struggled to engage with the material. Part of that was just me being kind of lazy about it. Part of that was the fact that I had undiagnosed ADHD and I was bouncing off the walls in a law school unmedicated and not really understanding what was going on. But the way that I engaged with the material was trying to find like the quirkiest angle into it. And so I had kind of like a show and tell moment in property class.
Okay.
Have I told you the story?
I vaguely remember, but I am sure that you've told me this anecdote. I don't remember any detail.
Okay. So the assignment that we got was to take a picture of something that is property law.
Okay.
And to do a show and tell like explanation of what the photo represents and why it is property law.
Okay.
And if you're a legal scholar, you know that everything can be and cannot be property law. So you're really just making a silly argument and taking a photo of something. And I had just read this article called Sex, Death, and IP. And it was about the idea of people owning reproductions of their photos, intimate or otherwise, and how they can use that sort of idea of ownership to kind of sue people for posting their, intimate images without their permission. And so I went up to my professor and I was like, I've got this idea. I've just started reading this thing. And she cut me off before I'd finished my sentence fully. And I was just like, I was like halfway through this idea. And she was like, whatever you want. You've got carte blanche. It's going to be fantastic. I don't want to hear about it. And so I went back to my small Kensington apartment with two of my roommates.
I remember this apartment.
We got out the purple floodlights that my roommate had. Shout out, Andrea. I
real
got
one.
down to my I didn't like I took my shirt off, but I kept my shorts on.
Okay.
And I was holding a banana, and I took a photo looking back at the camera holding the banana with my shirt off. And then I took an emoji and I blew it up over my shorts, and I submitted what is a fake nude as my idea for what is property. And like that, and I thought of it. I was like, "That's cool. That's quirky. That's fun. Let's get
It's
rid
all
of it."
coming back to me now. I remember this well.
And then I show up to class a couple days later, and I'd forgotten about the show and tell aspect of it. And we're in the moot court, and they've got a projector about 8 feet high. And my lovely law professor has created a slideshow of all the photos that people submitted, and she's just ripping through them with like careless abandon. She's clicking next. She's like, "Explain why this is property law. Explain why this is property law." And I'm nervous because I know that my photo is in there. My fake nude is in there, and it's gonna hit me eventually. And we got through. She stopped at some point, and she was like, "Well, I think that's it, unless anyone else wants to show something." And my friend in the back yelled, show us Zimmers, show us Zimmers. And of course she skips through until she sees my fake nude, and she goes, "Explain this." Like, I think very livid in her immediate reaction before she remembered that she had given me carte blanche.
Oh my god.
And I had to sit there and kind of defend and, explain to the listener as I did the idea behind owning one's intimate photos and what that represents for property law.
It's a very active and important thing these days. I'd say that's an extremely and increasingly legitimate focus.
Yeah, exactly. And then as soon as that happens, everyone knows you because it's all over Instagram and Snapchat. And you're like, "You're the funny property nude guy. Do a joke, property nude guy.
Say funny.
Say funny." And I've got nothing for them. Like, I don't know these people. I'm not going to strip down to my underwear in front of them. Like, I don't know what they want from me. And that was brutal. And I think that I showed up to my next law school, tucked my head under, didn't go to class.
You're like, time to transfer.
Time to pretend that I don't exist.
Time to get in my car and go to school that's like 2,000 kilometers away.
Exactly. It's time to leave this and try again. I'll start from scratch if I have to.
That is hilarious. And that paints a vivid picture of what you're talking about. Of originally of that conversation about impressions and people's idea of you. You know what? That clarifies things for me well. I asked you to explain, and I now understand what you're getting at.
Yeah. It is terrifying to, I think, know yourself and then have that self known and reflected in others' idea of you, but also not to be able to measure up to it all.
Because you know yourself as a gradient through time.
Yes.
But when you are someone like you or like me, and you make big showy expressions, it's like you're just putting a picture, like a cross-sectional snapshot of that gradient, which is just one color. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe that
coming through.
Well, that's the other interesting thing, because I think that like people, I'm not sure if I agree with the fact that I'm a gradient. I feel like I am very discrete in that there are very specific pieces of me that have existed in time, and I have trouble relating to the previous iterations.
I see.
So there's, the Zimmer that has existed as a lawyer, the Zimmer that has existed in law school, the Zimmer that was a summer camp counselor before that, and then, my childhood. And I feel like those are all kind of distinct personalities.
That's why it's a gradient through time. It's like in any moment you're someone, but if you trace that through your life, that color changes, This is a kind of weird metaphor.
Interesting.
And it's like only if you take a second of time, because in that moment, a funny property nude Zimmer was a valid image of Zimmer at that time. That is who you were.
That's true.
But it's not who you are. That's not who you were yesterday. But yesterday you and today you are connected by this string, this continuous existence of you changing.
I think that's
and when you deliver yourself to the world, you can't really get it. Like, I can't put any wizard on the Passion Show that's not Passion Show Wizard. I really try, and I do think that Passion Show Wizard is a decent simulacra of wizard, but I can't show these people the kind of conversation that you and I are going to have on the drive home from here. It's just impossible.
Do you think that you're performing at all on this show?
Oh,
Is it the performance aspect of it?
Yeah, but even if it wasn't, like I can only show any discrete unit of like an audience or a person the kind of me that I am capable of bringing to that.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? And I do perform on this show, but I'm performing and gesturing towards truth. You know, I'm doing my best. Like I've learned by being a counselor and a performer and an improviser over my life how to use that. I think you're in the same boat.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure if this is exactly what you're saying, but I'm always a firm believer that a white lie or two in a story can make it fit together cleanly, if that makes 100%. Any sense at all. You have to, you're telling the truth, and sometimes
I like where you're going here.
The picture gets cleaner when the small details around the edges are rearranged.
Mm-hmm. When I tell kids, often at outdoor school, I'll be telling stories, and they'll say, "Was that a true story?" And I always tell them, I'm like, it's a story about truth. Or I sometimes say it was truly a story, or just like something to that effect. And that's sort of what I'm getting at.
There's this fantastic author that I love called Thomas King.
Thomas King.
And he's got this...
No relation to Stephen.
No relation to Stephen. He's indigenous.
Or Lear.
He's very... heavy-handed in a good way with his metaphors, and
straightforward.
Yeah, and he's got this bit about the art of telling stories, and I'm going to absolutely butcher it, but the thrust of it is that you can tell a story in time and have that truth carry on without the story being an exact replica of what it previously was.
Because the story is alive and it has a soul.
Exactly.
Just like how we change from day to day and are still the same essence, or like a changing line.
Yes. And more importantly than that, I think if something is story shaped, that core, the bones of it, for lack of a better term, will persist
bones
over
is
time.
A perfect term.
Even if the meat on the bones and everything else, the outside shape changes. The core will remain the same.
You're a what's the ship? What's the ship?
Theseus ship?
You're a Theseus believer.
No, I don't think it's Theseus ship. I think that like there's actually parts of a story that don't ever change.
Gotcha. Well, there's part of the ship of Theseus that never changes too.
Really?
The name.
Oh, yeah.
The soul, the people.
Okay, yeah.
They don't change the crew.
That's me being a little
I think it's important that they don't change the crew.
So my is it Greek? It's a Greek myth.
Something like that.
I don't know. I don't know the origins of it.
This show gets like this sometimes. Sometimes we just invoke things that I know that my guest sort of knows, but I never bother to explain it to the poor audience thing over here. Should we explain the ship of Theseus?
I would like to hear you tell us the story of the ship of Theseus. Okay.
Well, the ship of Theseus is just this boat going back and forth. There it is in the Mediterranean Sea. We're going to suppose that this is Greek. So you're going back and forth. You're going to Greece. You're going to ancient Rome, going down to Egypt. And every time they get to a port, they're like, well, the bow of the ship is busted. We're going to need a new bow for the ship of Theseus. So you get a new bow or bow or whatever it is.
It's a bow. You're right.
Yeah,
you
bow.
Nailed it the first time.
And then they're like, oh, the hull is all busted up here in Egypt. Let's get us a new hull. Oh, rats. The steering wheel is all dinged up. It's time for us to get a new steering wheel for this ship of Theseus we've got. And eventually, after a long time, every part of the ship of Theseus has been changed. Is it a new ship? Is that still the ship of Theseus? Because the steering wheel isn't the same. The bow isn't the same. The starboard and the port, they're different. But it sounds like you're a Theseus believer.
I think I'm a Theseus believer.
I'm a Theseus believer. I think it's impossible to not be, or like I can't imagine an explanation that works well for me that would say, it's a different ship. We should call it Theseus 2 or whatever. I don't know.
What I'm more fascinated in is the way that you told that story, because you didn't have all the details. You're like, I have, as some would say, the concepts of a plan. But I can get there. I can get to the end by telling a story and bringing it in. And I don't, like, if I was put on the spot and asked to tell that story, I would have been like, well, there's a guy named Theseus. and he had this ship. He went off to war. And every time he would come back from war, there'd be a little hole. in it.
Yeah, oh
They'd
no,
have to
a
replace it.
cannonball went through my bow.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually someone asked him, Theseus, is it the same ship? And he said, yes, it's the same ship. And they said, how can it be the same ship? None of it's the same as when it started out. You have to rename it.
You made it into like a case study, you
Exactly.
lawyer.
Yeah. But you see what I mean? Like the core of the story is the same.
You're right.
But the mechanism and the details, for lack of a better term, are entirely different.
It's because you wanna frame it up as a war, and I want to frame it up as a fun little adventure to Cairo.
Exactly. Maybe that says, yeah.
Maybe
There's a little bit of
it
every
certainly
artist
says
in their
something.
work, and there's a little bit, and I think that's
Absolutely.
kind of cool.
Because it's when you find a story, when you bring a story to life, it's an act of birth. That's what makes it divine.
It's true.
And this is like a classic passion show. I haven't done one that's this style of conversation in forever. I love this really like meandering art-based discussion, but it's perfect. It's exactly you and I. You're probably the person I've spoken to. Like you land on my leaderboard of conversation in my life. We've spent so many hours just locked in conversations like this.
Just yapping. But now someone else gets to peek their little ears into the room.
Exactly.
Have a little moment.
Exactly.
And I'm going to make myself self-conscious again. So
We're
hit
in
me
the
with a
annex.
question or something.
We're in the annex, and some kid has their ear up against the window, and they're listening to us talk about philosophy. And wouldn't you just like to be that kid? You know, if we were in the annex, would you really be upset if some 13-year-old was listening in?
No, I think I would respect it.
It's a gift, exactly.
I think, yeah. No, I think
we're doing a generosity right now to the world and to ourselves. So, think about all the ink that you and I have spilt that we'll never get to return to. And that's fine. That's beautiful. I'm not trying to record my entire history with anyone. But here we are, just taking one little chunk of our, I think, special and beautiful friendship that we share, putting it in a nice little bow, making it a beautiful piece of art. It's got a little intro song. It's got a little outro song.
It does.
And we're saying, here you go, us in 50 years. Or here you go, Boots. Or, whoever's listening to this right now,
Shout
Logan.
out S'more, wherever you are.
Yeah, S'more. Oh, S'more's going to listen to this big time. And that's what makes this show, I guess. Or it's just one of many pieces of this show. But what I'm saying is, don't worry about it. It's like how some people believe that a camera can take a little piece of your soul when it takes that picture of you. Maybe that is so. Maybe it's okay to leave a little piece of your soul on the radio. That's the generosity.
Do you ever feel that when you create a beautiful piece of art, it takes a piece of your soul away? Because that's something that I kind of experience. I feel like
100%.
I will carve out a very specific anecdote, or I'll write a beautiful essay, or I'll write a beautiful story, or even I'll have like a beautiful creative moment in an experience in creating something with a friend, and it feels like I will never be able to recreate that again, and the part of me that created that is somehow lost.
Are you a statue, or are you an apple tree? It's not like that apple is ever coming back. The apple is gone forever, but there's going to be a new apple there. There's going to be multiple new apples there. I'm an apple tree.
I think that intellectually I can get my head around the idea that I'm an apple tree. But in this moment, as I sit here before you, I feel like a statue.
Okay.
A soapstone statue.
Oh, a soapstone.
A soapstone statue.
You're going way quick.
And the little slivers are starting to, they're falling off me.
Well, that's going to have to be a little bit of internal work for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Or maybe that's just who you are, Everyone has embodies different metaphors, I guess. And it's definitely something that I do is I think I really try and metaphorize everything. A lot of people are going to be groaning big time. I know not everyone loves metaphors as much as I do. But, so this one, if you're a metaphor hater, this one's going to be a real groaner for you.
I'm so sorry to all the metaphor haters out there.
But I think metaphor's special. I think it helps me to become the person I want to be by trying to reshape myself in my mind by, saying I'm an apple tree. Because that lets me become an apple tree.
So, no, I think it is. Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to think of why I love metaphor so much. And
You're a metaphor enjoyer.
I'm a metaphor enjoyer.
We share this.
We're both big metaphor heads. I think so my dad's an English teacher.
Uh-huh.
And he loves, almost as much as my mother, this Canadian literary critic called Northrop Frye.
Uh-huh.
And
can you repeat that?
Northrop Frye.
Northrop Frye.
He's an alum of the University of Toronto, I believe, and he's a true Canadian in that he got invited to, do stuff in the States, and he said, "No, I'll stay in Canada, and I'm going to do my thing."
I'm Northrop Frye. I gotta stay in Canada.
Yeah, and he's got a couple. He's written a ton because he's a literary critic, and that's what they do.
Uh-huh.
But my dad read me The Educated Imagination when I was young.
The Educated Imagination.
And
a provocative title.
It's like a skinny book. It's like this is thin. You can get through it in like 10 seconds.
Mint.
But Fry's theory is that a lot of our current culture and the metaphors that we use come from the Bible, because he thinks that that's kind of like the Genesis text for a lot of our current society and discourse. And I don't think that's a novel idea. I think he probably borrowed that from someone else.
Uh-huh.
But he loves playing with or pointing to retellings of moments from the Bible in our everyday discourse. It's very, I don't know, it's good. And I think that being read that and like Haroon in the Sea of Stories as a kid really just kind of got to me.
And there's so many places you can go. That's an expansive idea in that it invites you to think like, well, where else are these stories coming from? And like, what else is an old story? How deep do these wells go?
Yeah, exactly. Because there are older stories in the Bible.
Oh, of course, exactly.
You're like way back.
You can imagine, like, there are plenty of stories where you're like, oh yeah, that's Christ. I see you, Christ, in that story. But not every story is like that. You expand out. You're like, where am I going to find some other ancient, beings, and what binds all these stories together? It's beautiful. It's like impossible to fully draw a circle around it. It's something that I'm constantly thinking about at outdoor school, and just in my life, is, the shapes of stories. How did we get here?
I have no idea how we got here with this.
Who cares?
But
It's
I'm having
beautiful.
a great time.
We just rip around in our metaphorical go-karts. I don't know how good a metaphor that is. Go-karts stay on a track. We're not on any kind of track.
No, we're deep in the wilderness.
We rip around on our metaphorical dune buggies. Just making our own track. I have a question for you.
Hit me with the question.
What are you passionate about?
What am I passionate about?
What aren't you passionate about?
What aren't
really?
I passionate? I think that there's the question cuts both ways, because I feel like I have a bunch of small passions, but I don't think I've ever sat down and identified myself as one specific thing. Right? Like, I love interacting with people. I love working with children. I love stupid little hockey statistics, and I guess I'm passionate about all those things. But I feel like there's something intimidating about showing up on the show and being like, I am capital P passionate about this one specific thing.
It's a expansive. I keep going back to that word. It's a good one. The show isn't boxed up.
Yeah,
I've never requested like one. At the start, I had it in my head that I would really drill in and ask people to like give me their log line before they could be on the show. I was like, I'm gonna need to know what you're passionate about. But that just didn't play out. The show wanted to be different than that. What the show likes to be is this like simple idea, and then the actual hour that we spend together, what you say you're passionate about, is sort of just however we feel when we're in here. So you could say all those things that you're passionate about, working with kids, etc.
Maybe I'll talk about my newest passion.
That's
That
all
sounds
your
like-
passion.
that
Yeah, you
sounds
can
like a
talk about
good
your
way to
newest
go
passion.
forward with it.
You could talk about, what's your newest passion?
My newest passion, hilariously, has become the Title 11 of the United States Code, which is the bankruptcy
Okay.
provisions.
Yes.
As I venture forth and work as a corporate lawyer in an American city and move forward with that. And I think it's fascinating because it's a piece of the legal system where everything breaks down.
Uh-huh.
Because in theory, you have the idea of a clean start for people who will never be able to repay their debts.
Uh-huh.
And the way that the common law works is you graft on laws on top of the basis, and things kind of move based on precedent. So a legal court will be like, well, it applied to a person. We're going to apply it to a corporation. And then things will move from there. And everyone's like, okay, now we apply it to corporations. Can we apply it to a limited liability company or something? And it moves that way. And it's just people agreeing on things, and then that being the foundation. So you're constantly kind of like creating a tower of, I don't know, something. It's like building
Detritus.
it's like building a drip castle. It's a drip castle where each little decision is another little piece of
drippy.
sand, and eventually
I think you're thinking of a drizzle.
a drizzle castle. That's what I'm thinking of. You call them drizzle castles?
I remember there being a debate about this.
Okay, I call them drip castles.
Some people were like, they're drippy castles. Some people were like, they're
this
drizzle
is-
castles.
We can,
Who cares?
and eventually it collapses in on its own weight. And the bankruptcy code is very interesting because there are so few decisions and so few guidelines compared to everything else that you are very aggressively making things up as you go. And moreover, I think it is a spot where, or sort of a blind spot of the current structure of things. And I would go as so far as to say that it's the place where you can see the jaws of capitalism consuming itself. Like it's really fascinating to have this idea of you owe people debts and you pay them back. Except in bankruptcy.
Except when you don't.
Except when you don't. Except when you can't do it anymore. And that to me is inherently fascinating.
What happened? Like, I've always, since I was a kid, I remember being confused about this. I'm like, what do you mean bankrupt? But I mean, of course, like, it just comes as a consequence of, like, reality, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
at a certain point, you're just never going to be able to pay all of your debts back, or more
and
importantly...
as a society, we've decided, like, you can't just, like, belong to a corporation.
You can't just belong to someone or something. We got to do something about it. And I think it works, in theory, for real people. Where it falls apart, of course, is where it applies to corporations.
Like LLCs.
Yeah, limited liability companies. Because you have people who are operating these structures, and they can make decisions that will destroy the corporation. And the corporation will go through bankruptcy.
But then it's just like, whatever.
But the people who made the decisions, they're shielded from it.
Yeah.
We call it the corporate veil. And that's the idea that it's really difficult to sue people who control the corporations, the directors and officers on the board, unless they do something really, 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 really egregious. You really have to, like, quite literally facilitate the opioid epidemic to have the veil be pierced.
Wow.
You have to do really, really heinous stuff.
Did like the Exxon people go to jail?
Yeah, they got in trouble too.
Okay.
You're like, thank God the Exxon people got. The lawyers and the accountants also got in trouble.
Really?
On Exxon. Yeah.
Wow.
They were. I don't remember the details. So
The funny thing is that's one that bubbles up to my top of mind because it's like the exception to the rule.
Yeah,
where it's like
exactly.
famously, there's a company that exploded. But most companies that do heinous things do not explode like that.
And that's kind of what it takes to have the law move in a good direction sometimes. Sometimes, like a lot of our laws are predicated on the Exxon scandal.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it's because things were so crazy.
So egregious.
So egregious. They were like, wait a minute. We should maybe fix this. And we're seeing the same thing with the sort of Purdue Pharmaceuticals case in the States.
Okay.
Where you have just such an egregious set of circumstances that it's causing the law and the pendulum to shift in response to it. I'm trying to think of a good example for the listeners.
Yeah, the dear listeners are sitting on tenterhooks right now. They're like, tell me more.
Tell me more
Title 11.
about Title 11 of the United States.
This is
Code.
I love it. I love that the first half an hour of your episode is like this, like emotional story, heartfelt thing, and then it's just like, you know what? It's time for Zimmer's Title 11 corner, so that we have a title for this episode.
We contain multitudes.
It'll be called Title 11 with Zimmer.
Chapter 11 of Title 11. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Take my word for it, because I haven't even been practicing law. I'm technically a clerk right now.
A law clerk.
A law clerk.
Interesting.
A
New York State board approved law clerk.
I don't think I'm board approved yet.
You're not board? You took the board, right? Did you not take the board?
I took the bar.
That's right.
I passed all my exams. I just have to sit down and submit my application.
Gotcha.
I'm just kind of lazy about it.
That is bazonkers to me. But okay. I would if I ever come visit you, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna get it done.
Fill out that old application.
Yeah, we'll pull out the MacBooks. We'll make some magic. That's something that's a skill I bring to the table. Whenever something hasn't been done and needs to be done, I'm like, we're gonna do it right now. We don't need dinner. Let's just do it.
I think I need a little more of that in my life, because I'm constantly procrastinating things. I'm pushing them off into the future, and I just
I spent the first 26 years of my life procrastinating, and a switch in my head flipped when I did a 2-day fast like a year and a half ago, and now I think I'm allergic to procrastinating.
What switch flipped in your head during that 2-day fast?
Just something, not in my head. You know where the switch flipped? My gut. My gut biome. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was a little bit of alchemy. It's a little bit of magic that happened for me. Anyway, maybe you are missing a little bit of that in your life. You got to find a Harlem wizard.
I do.
Shouldn't be tough. Doxed. Oh, not quite. Not the address hasn't been revealed.
No, not yet.
But you can always just rely on your Guelph wizard.
Yeah,
you've got my number.
So,
Title 11.
Chapter 11.
Chapter 11.
Of Title 11.
Of Title 11. What's the why should this be important? Why should I care about Title 11?
Why should you care about it? That's a good question. I don't know why you should care about it, Wiz. I think because it's important to understand what happens at the end of the rope. I think that we kind of feel like we live in a precarious time, and everyone feels like the ground is shifting under our feet. And I think that it is one of the mechanisms by which we will be. I think you're gonna have to learn about it eventually, right? It's gonna become
bankruptcy comes for us all.
Bankruptcy comes for us all, and I don't think that's true. Actually, I'm not sure what I'm saying. Hit me with another question. Good.
Title 11's like a metaphor for death. Is what you're getting at.
Yeah, it's corporate death. It's corporate death and rebirth, because you say, oh, all these liabilities, they don't exist anymore. All the money you owe to people, no more. Gone. You get to start again.
What does the government do about that? Are you just if you accidentally do business with a company that goes bankrupt, it's just rats?
It's even more rats than you would think, because there's this thing called the automatic stay that goes into effect under 362, I think, Section 362.
Oh,
and what
awesome.
It does is
your brain is amazing.
This is something I need to know all the time. Is it says you can't sue us, you can't enforce legal actions against us without approval. Also, if you've been supplying us with key supplies to keep our business running, you got to keep doing that.
No.
It doesn't matter if I owe you $8 million. That was in the pre-petition period. This is post-petition. This is after I filed my bankruptcy, and you got to keep giving me my stuff I need to run my business.
That's, oh my God. So you're just, okay.
I'll pay you for it. I will now start paying you for it under the contract that I owe you. But all the pre-stuff, you're going to get cents on the dollar for all of that stuff that I owed you before.
So I guess in the economic world of incentives, business has a real potent desire to avoid doing other business with companies that they think could potentially go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What does the word default mean? If I've defaulted on my loan,
you just haven't paid them back on time. And,
Gotcha.
And the contracts be like, you have to pay it back by this certain date.
October 10th. It's October 11th. I haven't paid. I've defaulted. Why is it default? Like, do we know the etymological root there?
I don't.
Because it's always felt like a real, like, why is this
You're
word being
straying way
used
too
for
far
this?
from my expertise. I'm a little baby. I haven't.
That's okay.
I'm sure.
I'm straying far away from both of our expertise.
But that's the. Yeah.
Gotta get a chartered accountant on this show. Gotta get my my godfather Craig on this show. Craigie, reach. Then I can find out all about defaulting loans. Wow, we've really found ourselves somewhere quite more boring than the place where we started.
All right, let's try it. What else am I passionate about?
Let's reset. You know what I'm passionate about?
What are you passionate about, Liz?
You.
Tell me about that.
And you know what you're passionate about?
What? You.
Yeah.
It's true. Our friendship is pretty beautiful.
Yeah, I think so too.
I've always kind of felt like you are smart in ways that I kind of lack, and I really appreciate the complimentary aspect.
Here we go. I'm smart in the way of pointing a microphone at your mouth.
Pointing a microphone at my mouth. And I think that you often see things that I don't see, in whether that be in like social interactions or insights into movies or some sort of aspect that I miss on the first pass. You go, hey, my friend Zimmer, pay attention to that one.
Key in.
It's actually really good. And yeah, I don't know.
And I feel similarly about you. I think we are a real. You and I are both complete humans, but when we are together, we create a beautiful other thing. It's not that we complete each other. It's just that we. There's got to be a good metaphor here. I'm struggling to think of it. I think I just have to describe the truth. Metaphorless, stranded, no paddle. We are good for each other. That's all I'm getting at.
I think that's true.
We create a beautiful relationship. It's funny to think of how few conflicts we've had over the years. Probably like one or two at camp, where we were just so heightened. I can think of one time where we had a stupid little fight. Do you remember this? Do you know what I'm getting at?
I remember arguing with you about the merits of BioShock Infinite, and that's it. That's all
I forgot about that one. Because I think that game sucks.
I love it to the day I die. What's the fight
forgot
that you remember between us?
I remember when we were playing that stupid game at camp. What was it called? Highlander. And you chased me off a cliff. But that was resolved in like 2 seconds.
That's true. That's a fascinating bit. So for the listeners out there,
for our dear listeners, at 9:42 p.m. on a Friday night, driving around on the highway.
Yeah.
Time for a lesson.
So there is a game called Highlander that we play as counselors at the summer camp, and it's essentially a complex game of tag, where every single individual person is given the name of another person. So you are hunting down someone else, some other counselor out in the camp. But you can't just tag them at any old moment in time. You have to tag them when there are no kids around, when they're caught not doing their job and not hanging out with the children they're supposed to be hanging out.
Exactly.
Now, it's kind of fun because everyone has the secret name of someone else and no one knows who has anyone else. So you create this kind of fun fencing dynamic where you're equally excited to see your friends and also terrified of them because any one of them could be hunting you down.
You could walk behind a shed and die.
Yes. And of course, being the kind of eccentric people that we are, we get really, really into this game. Yeah. And so you have different ways of luring people out. And at some point in time, I realized that I was being stalked by like this green bush. And it was one of my fellow counselors in a ghillie suit, a full army quality ghillie suit, who was following me around and waiting for me to be out of the range of 10 feet of a small child. And it went on for days. And all the while, I was working my way down through the list and trying to tag other people. And eventually I came down to my good friend Wizard. And I don't remember how.
It was Peaks. There's a cabin, Peaks. There's a big stupid cliff.
There's a big stupid cliff. And I chased you quite literally off the cliff.
Yeah. And I just like ate it, and I was crying. And you tagged me, you're like, gotcha. And I was like, screw you, man.
And I think I was because I felt bad in that moment. I was like, I think I got a little too into the game. I was like, you know what, my friend, let us mulligan this.
Yeah.
I did not tag you. I think we can win this game together.
Yeah.
Because of course you play the game until there's one person left standing. But if you have someone playing defense the entire time behind you, you're basically free to tag everyone all at once. And so that's what I did. I hung out with children quite literally 24/7 for the rest. I was not further than 15 feet away from a child at any moment in time. Sometimes I was
free to do whatever I wanted. I could just walk around because you had me.
It was really funny. I would be like, hey, Jimmy, you stand at that water fountain. You cannot leave because I'm going to go to the bathroom in this building, and you need to be close by. You need to be within earshot of everything. Or I guess we were free in the bathrooms. That was the one.
But when you come out of the bathroom,
he was like covering the entranceway so that there would be no issues. And that was how we won the game.
That's true.
I got stalked by a dude in a ghillie suit for like 3 days, and you just went around tagging everyone, and eventually that guy, and we won the game together.
There can be only two.
Only two.
And then everyone said, boo! You're supposed to say there can be only one, like the movie Highlander, dear listeners. That's why it's called that.
Yes.
But that's the one fight we've had. I guess we also fought about BioShock Infinite.
It's more of
I forgot that. We like to have an argument.
We love a little debate.
We love a disagreement.
A healthy debate, yeah.
Exactly. But our passionate love for one another is a thing that is beautiful and pure, and goes way back in time, and will continue on forever. And I just think that's pretty neat. I would put you upon my, shining altar of peers, for sure. It's like you and I don't want to say the rest. I don't want to single out who my most favorite buddies in the world are, but certainly come to mind.
You're on my Mount Rushmore as well.
Yay! Isn't that funny? Well, we've got another 10 minutes, so what else should we say on this show? The two people who can talk forever have run out of things to talk about.
What else do I want to talk? What else am I passionate about?
You've got this platform to say anything you want to the good people of Guelph and surrounding area and people who know me. And the odd person who just discovers it on the internet, I guess.
I don't know. I'm a little on the spot. Has anyone ever asked, do you come to the show with passions that you want to talk about?
People ask me. I love when I get asked, when I get grilled and interviewed. Feel free.
I would tell me about...
Yeah, AMA.
Tell me about the members of your family you're most passionate about.
Ooh.
Which is all of them, but I want you to pick one to tell us about right now.
I'll tell you about my sister.
Go.
Young Emily, such a interesting human being, has been through some real, trials in this life, and she's just landed in the most amazing place. She's out east right now. If you didn't know, she is working north of Halifax right now.
Pop off.
And hopefully she tunes into this one. I bet you she will. And she just has this this drive and passion, and just she's the most wicked writer, and her writing is amazing, and I hope that one day she publishes something that I can turn people towards and say this is someone I look up to when it comes to writing. I'm only just now starting to write more. There's a previous episode of this show with Indigo about that. I'm trying to write letters and express that, but I struggle with it. I'm a talker. I'm an improviser, and writing is a different thing. And she's just the most amazing writer. She has got this wit and a creativity. Her stories and letters are like little Gesamtkunstwerks. Yeah, I think she's great.
Did you always look up to her growing up? Because I know that there was a moment where I flipped with my younger sibling, where I was like, oh, wait, I look up to you. There's some really cool stuff that you do. And I'm curious whether it was the same for you, whether there was a specific moment of inversion or whether it was kind of a slow progression.
It was probably 6 years ago, like in that ballpark, or maybe even more. She used to write me letters when I was at camp and when she was in high school. And that was like the thing that started me like really seeing her. And it feels weird to say, man, sibling stuff is bizarre, but I'm going to say that's when I started seeing her as a person. Like, I've always obviously known that she's a human person, but when I saw that spark in her, I was like, all right, you are like a really unique being who exists independent of me and mom and dad, with perspective. And it took a while before our relationship developed to the point where it's at today, where we're comfortable hanging out and being around each other without any like context. Just something her and I went camping up on Tobermory, and her and I spent a morning together. And it's the first time that just her and I have hung out together in years. And man, it's emotional talking about this. I haven't talked about this. And it just felt amazing. And her and I have spent some time apart, like physically and emotionally, over the past 3 or 4 years, I think. And man, I'm kind of just saying all this. This is great. It felt so good to be with her again in an easy and true way, and where we're people together and not just siblings, but just like people. And I think me seeing her spark and her passion, I think she would describe herself as passionate about writing, is what kicked off that journey. So that's how I'm gonna answer that question. She's the best. I hope you're listening to this, Emily, and or even if you're not, I'll just put it into the radio waves, which will reach her physically. I wonder how far. Radio waves go pretty far, right? Like the actual.
That's my understanding.
Waves.
Don't quote me.
Even if they don't get picked up by receivers, it'll like go out into space or whatever. And so let these radio waves hit you, Emily. You're the best, and I love you. Is that a satisfying?
That's a very satisfying answer. I think that it's interesting that like you don't conceive, or at least I didn't either, of your younger sibling as a real person until at some point they become like a real flushed out human being. Because I remember seeing my brother as this like football of a human being. Now part of that is because he was born looking like a little sumo wrestler, but also because I was disappointed he couldn't speak and talk and like play with me.
You're like, what is this boring little
fresh out of
thing?
the womb. I was like, what's going on with this little guy? He's supposed to be my buddy. He can't even walk right now.
This whole thing is useless. This thing sucks.
And I at some point I remember moving like a truck in front of him, and I was like showing him how to, like, I was like playing with, it was his birthday, and he had gotten a truck but he didn't know what to do with it, and I remember pushing it in front of him, and eventually at some point he clued in, and he kind of like touched the truck and moved it, and I was like, you're real. You're my little guy. And yeah, I don't know.
That's perfect.
Shout out Coltrane.
Coltrane, you're the best.
I'm doxing myself, but I love that man so much.
What do you mean you're doxing? I mean, yeah, I guess. But no, that's not a dox.
That's not a dox.
Coltrane, you are the best. A whiz kid.
A whiz kid.
I know, an OG whiz kid.
I know for a fact that you were his favorite counselor ever at Celtic. Of all the ones that he had, he was like, that guy was the greatest.
That's good. I'm happy to hear. I won't try and do the thing, the like, oh no kind of thing. I'll just say, nice. I believe you. I was a pretty good counselor.
You were a pretty good counselor, especially for...
I won't deny it.
He was right in your wheelhouse.
Big time. That was my first year, too. Dang. Obviously, we were pretty close in age.
Yeah.
I think I'm only like 2 years older than him. Yeah. Which is great. But family, it's a special, crazy thing. You've spent a lot of time, of all of my friends, outside of my high school friends, you are probably the person who knows all 3 members of my close family the best. Because you spent 2 whole weeks at my house in
Spent
coronavirus.
2 whole weeks during
Got in our bubble.
in your bubble. That was a blast.
You spent a lot of time just like hanging around. I've
Spent a lot of time gabbing with Emily.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time.
Emily and Rob and Vicky,
Rob
all
and
the
Vicky.
homies.
All the homies. That's true.
And they love you. They ask about you. You've become, in some hilarious ways, which will invoke but not specify, part of family drama over over the years.
That is absolutely true.
Which is pretty funny. And you're wrapped up in my family affairs, and as such, I think I go as far as to consider you part of my family.
Thank you.
Not just because of that, but simply because I think it would not be a stretch to say that you are the individual person who knows the most about me. Just in terms of like, maybe my parents know more about me simply because they have seen me more, but you're the person who I've told explicitly in text the most about myself, of anyone. You know, our friendship has lasted 12 years. We would have become friends in 2013, and that's almost half of our lives. And it's certainly more than half of the part of our lives where we've been conscious and aware. It's the entirety of our adult lives.
Yeah.
And it's been one of the great honors of my life, sharing myself, taking to a classic passion show callback, taking pieces of my soul and offering them to you, saying, hold on to this, protect it, put it into yourself. I'm an apple tree. So thank you.
I love you too, I think is what I would say
Yep.
to that.
That's good.
I love you too.
So here we are at the end of the show. It's time for us to say the things we're grateful for, because that's a tradition on the Passion Show. I'll go first. That way you can go last and you can end the show.
Sounds good.
My gratitude is for the wind. It's for the trees. It's for the Eramosa River. It's for old friends and new friends. It's for Wanders and the Guelph Grotto and the Woolly Pub, and for CFRU, and for you visiting me on this surprising Sunday afternoon. I am complete. What are you grateful for?
Well, of course, I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for our friendship. And I'm grateful for the fine people of southwestern Ontario. I'm grateful for Tim Hortons ice caps, and I'm grateful for the insane setup that is the 401, and I'm grateful for all the reeds and the marshlands of Ontario, and I'm grateful for you, dear listener, whoever you are out there.
Please take care of my friend's chunk of soul, dear listeners. We're trusting you with this. We're nothing if not generous. Zimmer, thank you so much for being on my show, on our show. It's a Do It Together show. My name has been Wizard.
And I'm Zimmer.
And please remember, only love will stop the killing.
Only love will stop the killing.
Seul l'amour arrêtera le meurtre.
Only love.
Тільки кохання зупинить вбивство.